Week 1 ESPN, I think ESPN does the power rankings, right? I think they do. ESPN had the power rankings, Vikings at the 10th best team in the NFL, which was where the Vikings were supposed to be. 10th best team in the NFL was exactly where the Vikings were deserved to be. You look at the teams that were above them and it's like, okay, they were all well deserved to be above the Minnesota Vikings. 10th team was about the right spot. Now, looking at that defense that the Vikings had in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, really dropped this down a lot. And unsurprisingly, I mean, that was well deserved for the power rankings. But the Vikings are ranked 16th. There are 32 teams in the NFL and the Vikings are 16, which is exactly in the middle. So I'm going to be talking about, are the Vikings really a middle of the pack team? And from the looks of it, you look at the teams that are above them, and a lot of them do look better than the Minnesota Vikings. They just do. You look at these teams. So the Vikings, obviously, last week had a terrible defense, but they had an amazing offense. And of course, offense outweighs defense all the time. I'm sorry, offense is just more important than defense when it comes to the NFL, because look at the Chiefs last year. They won a Super Bowl, and what? They had Tyrann Mathieu on defense. Great. And they had that, they had a pass rusher, okay? They had 2 players in defense, and look how great they did in the 2019 season and ended up winning a Super Bowl. So look at their offense, though. Kirk Cousins, 76% completion rating. Now, that's exactly where he's been the last few years, but that's only because he threw a lot of check down passes to Dalvin Cook. We saw none of that in week 1. We saw Kirk Cousins throw great in week 1. Now, of course, he missed his target against Adam Thielen, which ended an interception, and he missed his target against Tajay Sharp. That was way overthrown, and it was just a bad play call. It was just a bad play call because, of course, Kirk doesn't have the same chemistry as Tajay Sharp. We already went over that. So are the Vikings a middle-of-the-pack team? Are they, though? I mean, with that offense, are they really a middle-of-the-pack team? You look at the teams that are better than them. You know, I'm more surprised about the Packers being ranked number 3 than I am about the Vikings being ranked 16. Like, the Packers are ranked number 3. You really think the Packers are the 3rd best team in the NFL after that last week? Aaron Rodgers had a great game, but you think that defense brings the Packers to rank 3? They didn't even have a good defense last week. They didn't. I mean, they applied pressure to Kirk on like reasonable downs, but they're ranked above the Saints. Did you see the Saints beat the Buccaneers last week? Did you see how great the Saints played? Their defense played amazing. Their offense looked complete. Emmanuel Sanders was a great piece to add to the New Orleans Saints. You had Taysom Hill still looking great. Drew Brees looking like how Drew Brees looks. And then Michael Thomas and his like route running. Alvin Kamara had an amazing game too. And then Latavius Murray is a great backup running back. Saints are arguably the best team in the NFL. Now, okay, you can't put any team above the Chiefs. I'm sorry, you just can't. So Saints should be number 2 or number 3. How are the Packers above them? And the Seahawks. Did you see the Seahawks last week? Seahawks looked like one of the best teams in the league. Russell Wilson looked amazing. DK Metcalf is arguably the best second-year wide receiver right now. Tyler Lockett is insane with his hands. And then, of course, you have Carson Wentz. What's his name? Chris Carson and Rashad Penny at running back. Could use some help there. They have Marshawn Lynch, too. They still have Marshawn Lynch there, but Russell Wilson looked amazing. That defense looked really good. Seahawks have a scary defense now, but they're really not even in the top 5 right now. The Packers are number 3. That's super surprising. Now, Packers had a great week last week against the Minnesota Vikings, and that's mostly because, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it's mostly because the Viking secondary was that bad. They were just that bad. You saw Allen Lazard always open, Valdez-Scantling open. You saw Holton Hill trying to guard Devontae Adams. What do you expect? Now, given Aaron Rodgers had some great throws in week 1. He had some great throws. He is looking better than he's looked in the last couple seasons off of last week. Now, of course, you can't grade teams really off of week 1. So Vikings middle of the pack team I think it's deserved. It's a hard pill to swallow because, of course, going 0-1 is a really terrible start because you know in the future that's really going to struggle. That's going to mess up the Viking season. That's my prediction. It's going to make us not win the division or something, maybe go in the wild card or something. I don't know, man. Going 0-1 in the long run is just you're gonna be looking back and it's like, wow, the Vikings are a better team now if we just didn't lose that game against that home game against the division rival, your arch rival, Green Bay Packers. So Packers are not number 3. I'm sorry, they're not. Like they're definitely looking like they definitely are the best team in the NFC North right now, and they're looking like one of the best teams in the NFC. But ranked number 3, they're ranked the best team in the NFC right now. Are you kidding me? The 2 teams above them are Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs. That 1 and 2 spot is good. That 1 and 2 spot is good. But you seriously are ranking the Packers above the Saints and above the Seahawks, who looked great last week, and the Cardinals. Although the Cardinals wouldn't be ranked higher than the Packers. I'm sorry, they wouldn't. But Cardinals are looking really good this year. Cardinals are looking really good, and they were my pick to win the NFC West, and I'm going forward with that. It's between them and the Seahawks, though. It's between them and the Seahawks, if you ask me. I don't think Rams are going to take it this year. I don't think 49ers are going to take it this year. Rams were looking good last week, though. So let me know what y'all think. Are the Vikings a middle of the pack team? I would say about that. That's kind of deserved considering how awful of a defense they had last week. They were killed against the run, killed against the pass. Their defense was looking bad, but their offense is looking complete. And that is looking like a division-winning, Super Bowl-winning offense right now. If that defense can step up, Vikings are a complete roster right there. So let me know what y'all think. Are the Vikings a middle of the pack team? I can tell you right now, you can't argue that the Packers are number 3. Even if you're a Packers fan, you can't argue Packers are number 3. You can't argue they're better than the Saints, and you can't argue that they're better than the Seahawks. Let me know what y'all think.